All right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 2 in Code Wars. Now, apologies, I did kind of talk for a while in the beginning of episode 1, just to kind of get into here, and then I even cut it short, but I do want to keep these to about half an hour bite-sized, like, segments. So, we're still on the did she say hello Caillou, and remember, this is one of the easier challenges, and we actually went through a lot of concepts here, so let's do a quick recap, quick summary of what we talked about. So, we started off with a comment. There was already a comment in here. And so a refresher is comments don't affect your code. You can comment anything in here. You can go la 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 la. And as long as there's a hashtag or a pound sign somewhere to the left of it in that line, and oh, sorry, I also didn't say these are the line numbers. Interestingly enough, they don't start at zero based like a lot of computer science things, which is interesting. But line one is line one. So that's an import line. So we're importing string. So we can use this handy thing that we researched online, which is import string. And then their example, this is their variable name. So if you were to copy all of this, there's your clear indicator of your professor knowing if you copied code. They can just look it up online, and if it shows up, and it's like, oh, and especially, and I think that I wonder why they don't do that, is like, because this stupid, sorry. And we proved that. And I'm not saying that. That is probably actually why they do it, is maybe throw in like a little trick for them or something. But and you shouldn't copy code. And like, look, there's even, oh wow, there's a lot of other ways. Yeah, replace. That's what I was thinking of, like, or remove. Replace was going to be my next guess because you could do a replace. Ooh, Ellie. That I don't know. That's so that is replacing this. So that's where they get that from. Usually I do replace it with, and then an empty string means basically remove it. So you're taking whatever this is, and then it's becoming this. So also kind of like a transform thing. So this is cool. This is why I like Geeks for Geeks. They do have a lot of stuff like that and a lot of tutorials, but you can get lost in this. So unless you're not driven with a direct problem, like we were noticing we were failing the test cases with punctuation. And we were like, whatever you want to call it, test driven development or whatever the tip was saying. Like we were testing. I mean, first we made a list. Like, okay, sorry, also, I made a whole Minecraft's musings to kind of prep for this. So if you're confusing if I say, like, oh, and I said in the other video, it might be from the musings list, but these are the videos for Code Wars. So just there. Anyways. All right, so now let's go ahead and clean it up. Let's go ahead and remove all this stuff because this is stuff that we had. So I was going to show you that you can do different things by than just words. You can do numbers as well. Yeah, what is that? Okay, you know what? Just don't. Whatever. There. Okay, so that looks pretty clean, and I would even get rid of this. So, because even though the tests pass, you don't want to be printing extra things. Same with this. Like, we could leave it in here and just do like a comment to show what we did for our debugging. That's sometimes what I've seen in there. But really, this is a good way to write your code. You want to declare all your variables in the very beginning of the code. And this is a function, remember. So everything in this def is everything that's tabbed in or further is contained within this function. So we're in a function called validate hello, and it takes in greetings, which are these little things that they've been feeding into it. And then and then we created this thing. So like these are the things we're looking for. So like if you look at the instructions again, it's like, okay, if it's this, or this, each one of these different words for hello, then we want it to say yes, it's valid. That's why I named it valid. Is like, okay, yes, that is something that we're looking for. Yes, the target is good, so it's valid. And we also created another thing to search, and I've known this because I just know that this is a thing. So if I wanted to say, take a string and split it or divide a string into strings or divide or something like that, divide a sentence into words would be another way to do it. And you would find, in fact, let's look at that. Divide sentence into words Python. See, it already finishes. Split a sentence into list of words. Again, another Geeks for Geeks, but there's also Stack Overflow. They're really good. And then you can get into like university sites too. But let's go ahead and go to Geeks for Geeks again. Hello world, and then output. Hello, and then world as separate strings or separate variables. So NC right there. Split. That's all it is. So I mean, you've got Geeks for Geeks. I can tell you right now, it's going to be like this. Only this is going to say Geeks, and same. It's going to be capital G and all that because they're not manipulating it like I did, forcing it to go to lowercase. And then it's going to say for, and then it's going to want us for our information. And then it's going to go, I'm already advertising for. Oh, and there's my email. See, you can see my email. That's also on my YouTube, so don't worry. You can email to that all you want. It is checked and it is also monitored by the CIA. No, I'm just kidding. Probably, but no. In all seriousness, I don't monitor it like that. But I do analyze spam though, so actually I take that back, and I do kind of analyze like malicious links. So don't send them though. I don't want them. Anyways, um, wait. We skipped it. Okay, sorry. Here's Geeks for Geeks. That's what I was looking for. I was like just missing it. And that's another thing too. As you're watching these things, my eyes might not be where your eyes are. So I know that's kind of frustrating. But oh wait, we are 5 minutes. So anyways, going off on a tangent. We've cleaned up the code. Now let's go ahead and attempt it again to make sure we didn't break it. Everything passes. We're all good. We're not seeing all these extra outputs. Let's go ahead and test. Here's the moment of truth. And look, we passed everything in 0.27 milliseconds. Like that's a fraction of 1 millisecond. And it passed 10 tests. And that means that we created a solution that was scalable to where it could have been any of those punctuations. So this is a really handy thing to know how to do. So being able to Google and find something like that, make trans, which is kind of funny. I'll probably remember that now because that's like, yeah, I don't know. It could just be controversial, but like, I don't know. And that's the thing. Computer science doesn't care about your politics. Like, it's the computer will either work or it won't. I mean, it doesn't. At least for now, it doesn't think with a conscience. But we are getting close to that reality. Unfortunately, or gosh. Now, anyways. You can vote on other Code Warriors solutions. To help uncover the best ones, there are two choices for voting. Best practices. Best practices are for solutions that you think are a good combination of being maintainable and efficient. They may not be the fastest solution if the fastest solution involves overly optimizing the code in a way that becomes hard to read. Clever. Clever votes are for solutions that you feel like are notable in some way, but not something you would expect to see in production code. And that's very true. And it's kind of fun. I love that about Code Wars is like, oh, also notice we have a 2. Oh wait, your first completed kata. This is probably going to explain that. Congrats on completing your first kata. Here are some tips of what to do now. Solutions. Each time you complete a kata, you will be shown the solutions of other Code Warriors. This is a great way to pick up new tips and tricks. Next kata. You can move on to the next kata by clicking this button in the top right corner, right here. It will randomly select a new kata for you based off of your selected language and training routine. Your active training routine is found on the dashboard page if you want to change it. Train again. If the kata is available in another language that you know or are interested in, try to complete it again in that language. Discourse. If you have something to say about the kata you just took, you can head over to the discourse section to chat about it. So you can complain. If it's not like a good program in your opinion, you can go tell them what you think about it. And here, I want to point out, you can see what other people did. That's a solution that actually passes the test. So I guess return any, return true, or return 1 would probably be, I think, because this is, or maybe this does return a boolean of either true or false. And it's saying any for x in greetings.lower. So here's how they force the input to be lowercase. So I did it in that loop, which they're doing it here in the loop, like greetings.lower. Oh, if s in, that's interesting. So that would also strip punctuation because it's only concerned about this. Whereas I was comparing it like, okay, let's take this, and splitting this with the split function. Here's a cool way you can also do it. So, and this passes all the tests. This is a solution. So that's why it's also been upvoted. In fact, let's go ahead and do. See, I don't know. This is like best practice, and then this is clever, but I'd almost say I'd like this. Because, like, this, okay, that's great. If you know that, if your company works a lot with, like, searching for target strings, then yes, you would want to get comfortable with this one-line zinger. But if you're just trying to do, like, a one-stop shop for coding and how to know how to do any kind of code, this is probably the preferred method, and one of them, too. Like, our solution didn't even look like that. Oh, and then regex. Oh, ew, gross. But regex is really powerful, really complicated to learn. So let's look at this one. So you'd even need to know from this library, import, or basically regex library, I'm guessing. Import, compile, search, and I. So like an iterator. So you've got all of these concepts that are, yeah, I, the iterator, go through all this, and then, oh, it's basically saying like, yeah, and then you got a boolean for a return. You're doing the bool version or boolean version of whatever this outputs, and that means if there's a one if it's found, a zero if it's not, I'm guessing, and then one corresponds to true, zero corresponds to false, and yeah, and then here you got like almost the same thing, but now you're doing like, oh my gosh, you can do that for. This is interesting because now you're searching for hello and hollow in the same section of regex. And actually, this isn't even just regex. So this is, oh, I see what they're doing. They just saved regex as a variable, so then you could do the regex here. But here, we're doing re.search, which is here, search. So there's that program. Anyway, so you can see all of the side by side. Oh, and here, ooh, that's gross. But it's functional. And so, and we should, not to knock it though. So actually, this is a good way to show if-else control flow logic, but it is a horribly inefficient and unscalable way to solve a problem. Because say you're looking for every letter in the English alphabet in a dictionary, and like, so you've got 26 of these to write, and even this is cumbersome. You know, imagine if we were looking for 50 words or 100 words. You know, you'd want one of these solutions up here where it's like, okay, that's scalable. It doesn't matter what the greetings is. It could be an entire textbook, and we're going to search for how many times hello, or really not even, we don't even have a counter. This is just searching for if it's in there. Then we say yeah or no. Anyways, so but this is good to see, and this is I did a problem much like this, and I did it how it made sense to me, and then like halfway through writing like 6 pages of code, I realized I was like, wait a minute, I could just do a list, and that's what I did too. Is I did a list of all the pieces, and then basically if there was more than one piece, I would do a plural on the seconds, minutes, hours, and that's what it was. It was formatting telling a length of time in days, minutes, hours, seconds, and they give you just a big number like 1,300,000 or whatever, you know, like that. And then you would have to divide it out into first years, or oh wait, no, because it's in seconds. So the first you find how many seconds are in a year and divide it out by that many seconds, and then you take the remainder and then further divide it out by how many days are in a year, and then you take that remainder, and you're recording these as you go, mind you. You keep track of the years and then the days, and you're saving those variables, and then you divide out the hours and then the minutes and then the seconds or the remainder, the final remainder. And that was what the program was. And so it was like, if there was 0 minutes, I was hard coding it like this, saying the output is this and 0 minutes. And or no, that you weren't even supposed to say 0 minutes. If there weren't any minutes, you were supposed to omit that or not print that out. And that's where I was getting held up because I was trying to do it like this, like. And what this is doing is saying like, hey, if this is in here, then it's true, and you're returning, so you're stopping the code right here. So wherever the return is, or at least starting, you're returning from the definition, or the defined function. Sorry, that is weird. Sorry, the defined function. It's not a definition in a dictionary. Dictionaries aren't like our dictionary, like normal English dictionaries. But anyways, but this is the thing. And then otherwise, else if or elif, if this is in there. Okay, so we're looking for that too. So then we can return true. It's like saying like, if is this a day in the week, and then you're searching like, if Monday is in the week, if Tuesday is in the week, if Saturday is in the week. Oh wait, no, that's in the weekend. So then you would return false or something like that. You know, you could do an else if statement through every day of the week, every, number of hours, anything like that. So, all right, that was a long roundabout way. We're already like 14 minutes in. Let's go to another one. You can do that, or you can do here and just do a fresh search. Practice, my languages, difficulty, that. And mind you, we're 8. That's supposed to be the easiest, and that was actually kind of tricky. Let's do 8, and then, okay, searches. Let's just look at pillars. I mean, well, I don't know. Let's try to find something that actually sounds grasshoppers. I've had fun with grasshopper. Oh wait, let's see. Oh no no no! I don't want to do factors. Nope. That's some math that I'm not. Let's just do or opposite number. There we go. What's this? Yeah, we're negating it. So here's your input. they want the opposite. So if they give you a positive, they want a negative. If they want a positive, yeah, same thing. If they give you a negative, return a positive. And this also has, oh, sorry, we should point this out, similar kata in harder versions. So let's do this. Let's train on this one. I like this one. So already I can say if, wait, you got to tab it in to be in the function. If number less than 0, return number times -1. I think I can do that. And then, oh, wait. No. We don't even need to do that. We just need to do this. Sorry, just return. Sorry. Is it going to work? Yep. See, so you're just returning the opposite. Doesn't matter. And here you can see all of the tests that they did. You're just multiplying it by -1. So a negative number multiplied by a negative number is a positive number of that sum, or that, or no, product. Sorry, sum is addition. Product is the mathematical term for multiplying. So really, right there, that's a little one-line zinger. We can clean it up. We could even do, like that, and that's probably the cleanest. I mean, you could also put it on the same line, like, ugh, it just looks gross. Like, I mean, you can do that, I think, but I like separating it out like that. And then if I were to approach this, I would want to see it like this on 2 lines. So let's go ahead and attempt. Impressive. You may take your time to refactor. All right, cool. Let's submit it. There. See, little easy ones. Let's see if we can do a couple more of these. We're at 16, almost 17 minutes. Like, just to keep these nice and easy. And see, look, you can do negative number. You can do. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. And this, what? This is clever, but it's super. I mean, it's only slightly clever because it's still a -1. And what they did is they just did a bunch of control copy paste, and pasted a whole ton of like this whole thing, everything from that left parenthesis into this right parenthesis, all the way over here, equals -1. That's what that means. So, anyways, then this one, wow. So this is error handling to make sure that it's a number. So if it's not a number, so first it's like try number equals that, return number. If not, if it's not a number, then it errors. So that's a try catch block, or try except. So it's try catch in Java, try except in Python. But see, this is where people are getting clever and just like doing that. That's why it's like all upvoted, clever, best practice, because it really is. I mean, like let's do. Ooh, we upvoted for best practice because it error handles, and it also gives you a nice. And technically, it should have a Monty Python quote, like strange women lying in sores. Oh, and then yeah, this return. Oh. That is awesome. So they did some ASCII art, and they made that string. The triple quotes is the beginning of a string, and the triple quotes is also the end of a string. So they did that, and then they did find that times n, and then opposite of n. So somehow this makes it -1, just this. But the find is like trying to find this in string, so this. So you're looking for this in there. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So anyways, let's go to another one. Let's go back to practice. It is a little cumbersome searching like this, but let's go ahead and just difficulty 8. 8. Okay, there you go. You gotta click out and then it refreshes. There. Alright, so, and you can see a little check mark by the ones we've done. So let's try name shuffler. Let's see what that is. Alright, so you gotta, oh, okay. Write a function that returns a string in which first name is swapped with last name. Alright, that's easy. So, we could do name equals whatever that is, string underscore dot split, then print name, and then at index 1 plus, so how we're trying to do a space in between. So this is formatting output is what I'm doing here. So then we're name, at position 0. So remember, it's 0 is how we start index-based things. So basically, we're just flipping the two around. Let's see if this works. Let's do test. Nope. Okay, so... Okay. Now, why are we failing this? Because we can see... Oh, whoops. Return that. Or flipped. We can even do a new variable equals. Let's go ahead and copy this. So we're just printing. We're not returning anything. That's why it's like it's upset with us. So now let's try it. And then return. Oh, sorry. That's the Java way return. So return flippy. It's actually flipped. And let's make sure we don't have that typo there. Okay, now let's test it. Oh, and also I can tell... Wait, what? Oh, whoops. I didn't spell flipped right. See, there we go. Okay, now test. There we go. And that is kind of cumbersome. I had this just to print it out because I wanted to see if it was doing it. But the same exact thing, I copied and pasted that. So let's go ahead and take that out. And you should like put a space there. And then let's go ahead and attempt. There you go. And it works for everything one of these. It doesn't matter. Like Chris Schillinger, like Regis and O'Reilly and like some Irish stuff. And yeah. Anyways, so that worked. Let's see, we're at 21 minutes. I was kind of thinking to do a lot more of these in 30 minutes, but, you know, it's whatever. And this is actually a good frame of reference. So it's taken us about 2 episodes. We're going to be doing about an hour total. Try to, like, keep it to another just 9 minutes. We'll do another one. But basically, that's what you can expect when doing this. So I've done hundreds of these things. So if that's a good frame of reference for you, I've done hundreds of hours, really. Or, like... although I take that back because there's some where I can just keep going. Like, yeah, calculate average. That sounds like it might be quick. Like, because I'm also explaining this as I go. So you'll be doing them quicker once you start kind of clicking and understanding how things go. So write a function which calculates the average of the numbers on a given list. Empty arrays should return 0. Okay, so already I know that whatever they send in, I'm going to... So for num in numbers, run sum plus equals num, and then we're going to do return run sum divided by, or it might have to be double divided by, and then count, and then we're going to do count equals 0, and then every time there's a number we're going to do count plus equals 1. So that increases the count. Let's get rid of this and let's do it. Alright, so I need to do, what's it saying? Cannot access local variable run sum out because I didn't declare it. Alright, run sum. So the running sum is going to equal 0. There we go. It didn't understand what that was. And cool. So it is a single divide. The difference is it could be a double divide. I think that just does integers. And then single divide, so it concatenates or it cuts off any remainder. So yeah, there we go. That's it. So what I did here is I declared a variable, count. So I wanted to keep track of how many numbers there were in the input. And remember, this is just whatever they're sending me. It could be a sentence of like string numbers. So that would mean if it had quotations on the edges. Or if it's a list of numbers, like 1, 2, 3, whatever. In fact, that's what you can see here. That's what they're sending. They're sending a list of 1, 2, 3. And they want to assert that it equals 2. So, and they probably have a bunch of other tests. Or no, let's do the attempt. Let's see if this holds true. Ooh, division by 0. Okay. Now we'll just put in like an if-else. If count equals 0, return 0, else return that. So that takes away the problem of dividing by 0. So I already saw that, division by 0, and you'll get trained to like notice things like that. So let's go ahead and try this. 100 out of 100 assertions, 2 out of 2 assertions. That means we just passed in almost 5 milliseconds, and that's 1,000th of a second, by the way. We just passed 102 tests. There we go. And that's so you're wanting the average. And so for this one, you'd want to have a basic understanding of math. Averages, the mean, median, and mode, which I believe I learned that in sixth, seventh grade, middle school math. But you might not have been, understanding it. It might not have been sticking. For whatever reason, that's what you would need to understand this piece of code. So, and even doing it now you understand what average is. So, I mean, kind of a long roundabout and more complex way of understanding average is, the average is you take all the numbers up and you add them into one giant sum. And once you're done, there's no more numbers. You divide it by how many numbers you put in there. So if it was all ones, the average would be 1. Like 1 plus 1 is 3. Divided by 3 numbers, you just get back to 1. So whereas if it's like 101, the average is like what, like 50, 60? Because think about grades in school. If you got a 0 on two things and 100, or no, if you got a 0 on one thing and 100 on another, your average is 50 because it's two. You're dividing it by two numbers, and it's just half of that. But like, and if you did 0, 0, and 100, your average is even less than that because it's like divided by 3. So then it's like a 33%, and so on. So, anyway, so now you understand a little bit more about. We still got like 4 minutes. Let's try to do another one. All right, let's go ahead and submit that because I like that. That's pretty clean. Leaving the your code in there, it's kind of noobish. You don't see it in all the, like, everybody takes out the comments. Yeah, try, catch, sum of an array. So you get the array in, and then dividing it by the length of the array. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, we won't get into that. So let's just find another one. Let's try to do another one or two. Like, if we can do one really quick, you gotta select it to 8. Click out of it, and it'll update. And then index of an element in an array. Provided as a function kata which accepts two parameters in the following order, array, element, and returns the index of the element if found and not found. Okay, so already I know how this is going to play out because I've done these. Remember, I've done hundreds of these. So already we've got, and it even gives you, it starts off so for this in this, if array equals, wait, that's the answer. You may assume that all array elements are unique. Did I already do this? Oh, be concise. I see. So this is code golf. It gives you the code. So we could just do that A E A. Let's try that. Wait a minute. Wait, your refactored solution did not contain what I was looking for. Keep researching. So I think it's like a ternary. Let's not do this one. That's not as easy as it could be. I would almost say that's a 7, like, honestly, because that's like trying to get code golf. Let's do 8. Because 8 is supposed to be the very basic principles, like you're finding an average, or you're finding if a word exists in a sentence. Wait, come on. Sometimes it takes a while, and then so if it does hang like that, you just do it. So count the number of cubes with paint on it. No, let's see. Is it gonna? I wish I could try to remember what some of these say. Return negative. See, or twice as old. There we go. That sounds like something could be. So your function takes two arguments: current father's age, then the current age of his son. Calculate how many years ago the father was twice as old as his son, or in how many years he will be twice as old. The answer is always greater or equal to 0, no matter if it was in the past or it is in the future. All right, so this could be, oof. Let's actually save that for episode 3 because we're right at 29 minutes. So, all right, and actually I'm going to go ahead and record episode 1 and episode 2, or send them to YouTube and see what they look like. See, it's even just still loading. So, all right, until next time, I will see you there.